Alright, so tonight I'm doing some testing with this 5-inch FPV Ardupilot drone that I made. It's got a Maytech F405 WTE. It's like a plane flight controller, but with some weird connections I used it for this drone. It's got a SpeedyBee 50 amp BO Heli S ESC running, I think just a stock firmware, it might be Blue Jay. Motors are like 2300 kV, it's running a 4S. Lithium ion cell that's charging back here. Yeah, that's about it. It's got a Caddx Ant as the camera, and then a HDLRC Zeus 1.6 watt VTX, but it's running at 250 milliwatt. So I also built this tripod ground station. In here it's got a low output VTX. I think it's a HDLRC Zeus 350 milliwatt. Inside it's got a fan up there to cool it. The antenna acts as a relay, and up here it's got a SpeedyBee video receiver that I'm using for receiving the video from the drone. Then it goes into here and relays it to whoever the pilot is or whoever's monitoring it. So that's pretty simple. It just runs off like a 4S. And then one of my favorite parts is on the side here. It has a XT60, which has a analog, like a AV output essentially, that can go to like any sort of monitor or TV or screen that takes that input, and you can display the video from the drone on that screen instead. So tonight what I'm doing is testing different types of antennas. So up here right now I just have an Omni antenna. It was stock from Maple Wireless, pretty basic. The next one was a Maple Wireless patch, which came stock on the transmitter too. And then the third option is my DIY helical antenna. It's a 7-turn. There's been a lot of promises that it's pretty good online, but I wanted to give it a try for sure. So right now I'm going to get the drone ready with a little 4S 1300 milliamp hour LiPo while the bigger lithium ion one's charging. I'm going to do a little test flight to the end of the field on the helical antenna, and then watch the goggles to see how it performs. Gonna set it down in a clear area right here. Plug this in, let it boot up, connect to the ground station. That should work. So previously I just tested it to about this point on the field. I'm going to send it a little bit farther to here because with some of the other antennas like the patch and Omni, it did start to see some static and breakup around here. But currently it's GPS is mad, so I'm going to wait on that for a little bit. It looks like it's good now. So I actually just tried to get that flight started, and this drone is such an awful GPS reception for some reason. This Maytech M10 module has been through quite a bit. I've crashed several planes that have had the module on it, so it's had some problems. And one of the ways I've seen that happen recently on this quadcopter is on the first flight, when I arm it and take off, it starts doing a toilet bowl type of thing, and it'll kind of wobble and spin around and crash. But on the second flight, it always is fine. So I tried arming it, taking off with one hand on the controller so I could record, and it spun out and crashed. But thankfully it's fine. It's carbon fiber, so it's pretty solid. It's good to go. Let's try this again. It's just to reference where I'm going to fly it. Over there. So between those two telephone poles, street light things, out. I'm going to fly it out there. And that looks like about right here on the map. So it should be able to clear those two poles, make sure I don't hit any of that, but then stay away from the houses since it's still just an experiment. So as soon as I've gotten all the bugs worked out, this thing can fly. Just in loiter mode, redo this waypoint mission. So I'm gonna start there, the takeoff. You know, you don't really need this one, but if you're doing a takeoff through the ground station where you arm it and then set like a takeoff altitude, I believe you do need that, but I'm not sure. So then we're just gonna go all the way there. So see you do there, so that I can at least look first. 40 feet up, and then we'll go to the end of the field. And let's go a little farther. How about a little challenge right there? We'll go here, and return home. And then I'll have it land, yeah, right about there. So I'll put a land command right there. So that should make it go over, fly back, and land right where it started. So for this mission, I'm gonna run a custom 4S lithium-ion pack. Each cell in here is 2,550 milliamp hours. So it's a 4S 2550 pack. These are some old cells I got from like a e-scooter, I think. I don't think they're quite rated to the current that I'm supposed to run on this drone, but they're free and it seems to work okay, so I'm just gonna send it anyway. I've had some pretty good success with these. They just have some pretty bad voltage drop because the cells aren't rated for the current they're supposed to have. So I didn't mention earlier, but I'm using Express LRS Mavlink control for the telemetry on here. I didn't want to spend money on an extra telemetry radio, so the Maytech 405 WP flight controller that I have on here has a built-in ELRS receiver. It's got a similar layout to the RP1 from Radio Master. It's actually the same firmware you flash to the RP1 is the same that you flash onto the 405 WTE. So that is connected to the Ranger Micro here, which is set up as a Mavlink / ELRS control link. So it'll forward ELRS control for the sticks and everything through, like as normal, through the Ranger Micro. But it'll also run a Mavlink stream over that same data link. That way you don't need a second like SICK radio system or something. Like that's a SICK radio, that's what I have for my larger drone. But it actually gives really good range. And if you reduce the packet rate to like 50 Hertz, 100 Hertz, you can get some really good range out of it. Right now I'm running it in F500 mode, so really high packet rates. It makes downloading parameters way faster, which is nice to have for testing. But generally the range is a lot worse with higher packet rates with Express RLS. And it goes over more of those details in the documentation on the website. But yeah, it's a pretty cool system. All right, got the drone in the air, just hovering right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the autonomous mission to the end of the field right now. See what happens. Sure hope it doesn't do anything sketchy and go into traffic. But it does have return to home, so I'm pretty confident that that would save it. Unless, of course, GPS fails. I don't know. Let's give it a go. Let's check on video. Video is good. It's solid. No interruptions. Some basic static, but this is a high interference area in the middle of town. You can see the video on here. So yeah, I just walked in front of the antenna. But the Helical seems to be performing amazingly. Especially because it costed like $5 to make with some old copper wire and a small like tin can lid. There it is, a little green dot up there. It should land from there. So I'm gonna do something kind of different. Have the drone ready here with the lithium-ion pack, and I'm getting ready to pack up. So what I'm gonna do is do a little throw launch drone delivery. Actually, if I'm gonna throw launch, I think I'll swap that for the lithium-ion since it's way lighter, and it recovers from those throw launches a lot better with the extra power it has. So I'm gonna throw it in the air. It should automatically go into loiter mode, or no, not loiter, auto mode. And then it'll fly over here to this other side of the park, and then land there, and I can go drive by and pick it up before I head back. So let's give that a go. All right, let's try this throw launch again. It didn't work the first time. Disarm, throw mode, like that. Arm it, bring up the throttle to mid, and let's give this a go. Can pick up the drone, slowly raise it. Front trigger launch. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. There it goes on the ground station. Check video reception. Make sure it doesn't hit anything. Because it might. "40 feet. Altitude, it's made it over there. Still got great video signal, even that low to the ground. When the helical antenna isn't even aligned that way. And yeah, it's headed down for a nice smooth landing. You can maybe see the video through there. It's not amazing. But it's at 20 feet. Appears it's landed. Alright, so I drove over here. It appears the drone has survived. Flew all the way here and landed right here. For perspective, I was way out there. It's about I don't know how far it is, maybe 300 yards. So, yeah, looking good.